Hey, it's the Refined Reseller. Thanks for tuning in. When you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you're going to learn how to become a very successful eBay seller. In this video, I'm going to show you some items I recently purchased at estate sales and garage sales, and I'm very confident I'm going to make some really good money. So you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, please like this video, and let's get started. All right, the first item I would like to show you are these art books that I bought at an estate sale. I got 40 of these books and they're just starting to sell. They're from, I think, the 1970s and 1980s. I sold this one for $12.99 and I sold this other one for $12.99 as well. I've already made my money back and I have about 38 books left to go. I did make a video about that estate sale, and if you'd like to check it out, just go ahead and click the link above. It'll take you right to it. All right, next up are these Beatles collector cards. I bought about 300 of these in a lot. They were like 4 different sets, and these are Beatles color cards. 1960s. The Beatles, man, it's the Beatles. Anytime you see Beatles stuff from the 1960s, you probably need to buy it. I got $49.99 for these. All right, so moving right along with some more musical items. This is a tour t-shirt, a Black Sabbath Ozzy Osbourne reunion tour t-shirt. I picked this up at a garage sale, and I got $49.99 for it. So whenever you see these types of vintage rock and roll concert t-shirts, whether it's Journey or Boston, bands like that, pick them up. You can usually get them pretty cheap, and they do sell quite well. All right, next I'd like to talk to you about this. This is a lot of Avon products that I sold. It'll be last August that I bought these. Me and a friend were on the world's longest garage sale, or known as the 127 sale. We start in Alabama, go through Tennessee, and up into lower Kentucky. I bought about 300 of these Avon products. I started selling them one at a time. I probably sold about 100 or so, and I had quite a few left. So what I ended up doing was just putting them into a lot, and this lot right here sold for $49.99. I think they had about 22 different Avon products. It was some lady who was in the Avon business and had shut it down, so I bought all the products that she had left. All right, next up is this vintage Bosch mixer blender. I bought this at an estate sale last week. I sold it after listing, I think it was on for maybe 4 days, and I sold it, and I got $149.99 for it. Now, let me caution you about an item like this. It's pretty bulky, and I had to end up shipping it in 2 different boxes. I really wrapped it with bubble wrap. I double packed it, double boxed it just to make sure that it wasn't going to break. So I had to put it in 2 different boxes. I charged $29.85 shipping. It ended up costing me almost 40 bucks. So I lost out on the shipping. For me, this is kind of a big item. I don't really like to work with big bulky items like this, but I did get $149.99 for it. So hey, it worked out okay. All right, next up are these fire alarms. I bought a whole lot of very similar items like this. I ended up buying 12 of these alarms. I sold one alarm for $9.99, relisted it, sold it again to the same guy, and he asked me if I had any more. And I said, yes, I have, I believe, 8 more. I said, look, I'll sell them to you for $59.99, and I will list them as a lot on eBay. So I did that, and he bought them. So here's another thing you need to know about eBay. I could have probably just sold these to him directly, but eBay would have somehow found out about it because eBay can read the messages you send to other eBay buyers and sellers. So there was no way I was going to sell this off of eBay because I didn't want to get flagged for it. So, I went ahead, I sold it for, what was it again, $59.99, and I paid the fees on it. Again, never sell anything off of eBay when somebody contacts you about it on eBay, because the guys at eBay can read all of those messages you're sending back and forth. Just a word of caution. All right, next up is an item that I really had no idea about. I have bought ties in the past. I think one time I bought a lot of 100 ties. I took pictures of every one of them and I listed them for like $5, $6, $7, $8 a piece. After about 3 or 4 months, I think I had sold maybe 5 or 6 ties. I didn't make hardly any money, and it took a long time to take pictures of those 100 ties. So I was at an estate sale and I saw these ties. They were all together. I made the estate person an offer. She took it. I got them home. I started looking at them and realized that the ties in this box are valuable. I've got them listed and they have started selling. So let me show you what I got. The first one I sold is this Tom Ford tie, and I got $59.99 for it. I sold another Tom Ford tie and got $79.99. I guess Tom Ford is some kind of really great designer. He makes really good ties. And then I sold this Stefano Ricci tie for $69.99. I have about 40 of these ties. Probably half of them will sell between $50 and $100, and the other half will sell below $50. But hey, that's okay. I hardly have anything invested in them. And now I know that these two tie makers make really good ties. They're highly desirable and they do sell, and they sell for a really, really good price. So I'm going to keep my eye out for ties. I know which ones not to buy now, I believe, and I know which ones to buy in almost every estate sale I go to. You go in the closet and they have some ties. So I'm really excited about this. I'm going to make some really good money with these ties. Next up is this Wilson tennis racket bag. I bought this and I sold it for $29.99. And in the tennis bag was this tennis racket. I sold it as well and I got $39.99. Paid very little for them, but again, keep an eye out for tennis rackets. You really have to do your research and look them up and make sure they're at least somewhat valuable. And I was very happy to get $39.99 for the tennis racket and $29.99 for the tennis bag. Next up is this Nat Nash shirt. This is the type of shirt that Charlie Sheen wore in 2.5 Men. I think I got this at Goodwill. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I did. I put it on eBay, and it was on for a very long time. I'm going to say it was on for at least 6 months. And I ended up selling it for $69.99. So keep an eye out for shirts like this. Nat Nash is the brand of the shirt. Next are these 4 Brooks Brothers shirts. Brooks Brothers is a very good, kind of a higher end brand. I had these listed individually. They did not sell. They just happened to be the same size, so I put them together in a lot, put them on eBay. It took me about 4 or 5 months to sell these shirts, but I finally did sell them for $69.99. Now here's a pretty cool item. I got this at an estate sale as well just last week. Had it on eBay for about 2 days and it sold. It's a vintage pair of pony boxing shoes, and I got $49.99 for these shoes. I thought that was pretty good. They aren't in the greatest condition. The shoestrings need to be changed, but obviously, maybe they're rare. I really don't know. I didn't pay much for them, but I sold them for $49.99. Now, here's something else I want to tell you about that I just happened to come across at an estate sale. I really didn't think much of it, but it is this record spindle that holds 45 records. I bought this and I sold it for $19.99. It's not much of a profit. I didn't pay that much for it. I did make a profit on this. However, inside the spindle were about 45 records. And I started looking through them. They had some very common records like Elvis Presley, Ricky Nelson, Dion, the Righteous Brothers. I kept looking through them, hoping to find a rare one. And you know what? I did. I saw this record, and it was blues soul records by a group called the Disciples of Soul. It is on Phantom Records. The songs are That's the Way Love Goes and Together. So I put this up, just took a shot, $249.99, and I sold it. I didn't get $249.99. I took an offer, and I'm going to tell you it was somewhere between $100 and $200. So keep an eye out for blues soul records from the 1970s. I don't like selling records on eBay because you have to, well, especially with an album, an LP, you have to grade the record and you have to grade the vinyl, that is, and you have to grade the album cover as well. And if you're selling it to somebody who is a true collector and you say that the record and the album cover are in very good condition or a very good plus condition and it's not, and you ship it to them, one or two things are going to happen. Either they're going to keep it and they're going to leave you negative feedback, or they're going to send it back to you because they're going to tell you that you did not describe the album condition correctly. I'm not a professional album grader, and I put that in every album I have for sale. Please note, I am not a professional record grader. I have done my best to describe the condition of this album to you. So that's what I've got for you today. Some really cool items, kind of a diversified group. I got some really good money for this. Again, I did not have much invested at all. Got them at estate and garage sales, and I think one item for Goodwill. If you'd like to find out some of the other items I have for sale, you can check out my eBay store. It is definitely a maybe, and I am almost at my goal. I almost have 1,000 items listed. I think I have 920, and I have 80 more items just sitting around that I do need to list. So very soon, I'm going to reach my goal. And it's been a great month. This is May 2020. The country's kind of shut down. I think people are at home spending money. They got their checks in the mail and their stimulus checks. And so far this month, I have sold 170 items, which is a lot more than I normally do because I do this part-time. I have a real job. So anyway, very happy with what's going on right now. Some very cool items. And don't forget, do like me. Buy low, sell high. And if you like this video, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.